Hello everyone, this is Keith Jackson and welcome to Jack's Math Notebook. In this video, we're going to show you how percents, decimals, and fractions really mean the same thing. And we have different types of examples to show you how that is true. And so let's take a look at 27%. Did you know that 27% is the same as 27 hundredths as a decimal or 0.27? We can also write it as a fraction as 27 hundredths, all mean the same thing. So if you're saying 27 hundredths, you can really be saying 27% or 0.27. And as you can see, the same is true for 35% because it can be represented as this decimal right here, 0.35 or 35 hundredths. And in fact, you can call this 35 hundredths and this 35 hundredths as well, while knowing that 35% is the same as these other two. All right. And so let's take a look at 54%. 54%, of course, is the same as saying 0.54 or 54 hundredths. And 65% is the same as saying 0.65 and 65 hundredths. And we could do the same for single digit percentages, right? So we have 1%, and that is the same as saying 0.01. That is actually 1% right there, or 1 over 100. Kind of think of this right here as a penny over 100 pennies, over a dollar, or $1 over $100, right? And so we can look at 2%, and we can say the same thing. 2% is the same as saying 0.02 or 2 hundredths right here. All right. In fact, you can call this 2 hundredths because this is an indication that it means the same thing right here, 2 over 100. All right, 3% is the same as saying 0.03 or 3 hundredths, and we get the point right here with single digit percents and their meanings as decimals and fractions. But what if we had larger percents like 103%? Yeah, there is such a thing as 103%. There's such a thing as 423%, but let's go back to 103%, and that is the same as saying 1 and 3 hundredths or 1.03, and we can actually write it as a mixed fraction or a mixed number, just like this, 1 and 3 hundredths. All right, what if we had 185%? We could write it as 1 and 85 hundredths or 1.85. And we can write it again like this with a whole number out here with a fraction attached to it, 1 and 85 hundredths. And we could do the same thing along with the continuum with 218%, meaning that it is 2.18 or 2 and 18 hundredths. All right, and just think of it as $2.18. And when we think of 375%, just think of it as a dollar and or I should say, think of it as $3.75 or 3.75 or 3 and 75 hundredths. And let's go back to our 423%. And we know that it is 4.23. And again, it is the same as saying 4 and 23 hundredths. Okay, and so here's a look at percents, decimals, and fractions, and you know that the three are interchangeable. All right, I wouldn't blame you if you need to pause the video to take a look at these patterns or replay this video as many times you need to gain a deeper understanding of percents, decimals, and fractions. But in the meantime, please comment, share, like, and subscribe to Jack's Math Notebook for more content. Thank you and goodbye.